chiller. Your sex is a weapon. Shorty a killer. Love dealer. Pain healer. Heart stiller. My nigga. When I was low stuck, you would roll up. Then we would roll up. Then we would go up. Take off them panties and then we would go nuts. Make sweet love to me. Take my pain away. Be my sunshine. Take the rain away. Only when you kiss me. Only when you touch me. Only when you love me. Only when you love me. It's only when I'm here. Heaven revealed her. Hell concealed her. But I always feel her. The real her. Love dealer. Pain healer. Heart stiller. My nigga. Remember when my wounds were open? At the bottom of the pit you sent me ropes in. The whole time I was really hoping that you would. Make sweet love to me, take my pain away. Be my sunshine, take the rain away. Only when you kiss me. Only when you touch me. Only when you love me. Only when you love me. It's only when I'm here. Only when you kiss me. Only when you touch me.
Peace to the family. It's the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. Just want to give you a daily energy reading for the weekend. Processing a lot of different things through this full moon. Just processing so much, downloading so much that I'm not even able to even process, like fully analyze all of the different downloads that's been coming, whether it's in a dream world or just ride in the car with my son, just all of these different things coming down. So just kind of want to give you an astrological point of view, maybe some different things outside of the full moon, some supporting elements, and I think I got a nice program today. I think it's pretty linear. It's pretty straight to the point. I received a major breakthrough yesterday, and maybe it's just me, but it was major for me to really understand what's happening as far as spirituality, religion, consciousness, all of these words that we just throw around. What does it actually mean? And getting to, like, at least in my personal view, get into center point and a center understanding of what's happening in the world and what may be happening for you, and you trying to process this information too. The thing about astrology is that it just doesn't affect me. It affects all of us in our own little way, depending on where this information is happening in your chart. So it's always important to have a base knowledge of your chart and then kind of correspond your knowledge of yourself with what's happening around the world. So what we're discussing is the Sun and Venus slowly creeping up into Leo, and this is sidereal astrology. And we're also discussing Mercury trine Chiron. They're at an exact trine. It was yesterday that they were at exact trine, but it's still a closely related trine, so we could still speak to it. Then we'll deal with the card of the weekend, the Six of Swords. Peace, Shireen. Peace to everybody joining me. Peace to everybody supporting me in multiple different ways. To keep this channel going, it's such a support system, such a boost of esteem that you guys give me, that I just hope to give it back. And the information that I'm putting out, I hope that is easily applicable, easily understandable. And when you apply it and when you understand it and comprehend it, it presents a new world for you, a world of control, a world of knowing, and a world of basically comprehending because so much of my personal life, I'll be turning 35 this year. Wow. I'll be turning 35 this year. A large majority of my existence was spent in mental captivity. I only existed within myself to the point of no education. Like, so I had this mind, I had this consciousness that I was aware of, but there was no education to that part of me. There was only education between my conscious self and the external world. So as I begin to educate myself and bring this consciousness and awareness, some words to it, some ways of understanding it, it becomes more than I hear voices in my head, or I'm sad or I'm depressed. It becomes as an indicator, it becomes a real system, a real science, and this science is called me, or this science is called you. This science is self-discovery, self-development. And as we understand this as in a conversation, as a collective, this is going to serve us so much in the future. So by doing this foundational work, by doing this groundwork, you may not see how this is going to really help you or benefit you in the future, but this is why we discuss these particular transits and their particular meanings, right? Their particular correspondences, because there's so much conscious information where people are just throwing out words. We're not researching the history. We're not researching the etymology. We're just saying these words, and our life is not changing. Our understanding isn't changing. We're just, the same person we were, but just with these fancy words and these fancy clothes. So this is not the consciousness that I ascribe to. The consciousness that I ascribe to is that of self-development, that of self-understanding, and that of bringing yourself to the surface. And if I've said that a lot, it's because I have to say it a lot, because that's not something that we're conditioned to do. That's kind of the opposite of what we're conditioned to do. We're conditioned to rate ourselves based upon a dominant society that's not really worth shit. So if I'm basing myself on a dominant society and I'm saying my life is good, my life is bad, whether it's good nor bad, it ain't worth shit, right? Because the dominant society is based on illusion, invasion, murder, pillaging, etc., etc., etc. So if we deal with the dominant society and what it states we should do or what it shouldn't do, then we don't understand our consciousness or psychological development. Psychological don't mean that you're crazy. Psychological just means the study of the soul. So every day I get on here, we talk about psychology. We study the soul. Why do we study the soul? Because we only can get a glimpse or a breath of the soul. We could never sit and talk about everything that the soul is. Nobody can do that on this earth. So therefore, it becomes a constant understanding. It becomes a constant form of becoming. And the reason that we reference breaking out of your shell is because there are two different ways we could look at this. So either you're looking at it as you are emerging or you are being suppressed. And if you are being suppressed, oppressed, repressed, depressed, compressed, pressed and curled, you know what I'm saying? That's external forces bearing down on you, the same way as a diamond would be at the bottom of a mountain and all of the weight on the mountain bearing down on this coal. One looks at it as a negative thing. Like, why are you putting all of this pressure on this coal? That coal ain't did nothing to you. That coal didn't deserve that. But that coal ends up becoming a diamond because of that pressure. If this is the understanding when it comes to pressure, when it comes to circumstances, when it comes to getting fired, getting evicted, this pressure, damn, I gotta come up with rent in 2 days. It's 1,200. I got $12. You know what I'm saying? That's pressure. And all of these particular pressures, if we're able to reach it, match it, know how to alleviate the pressure. How do you alleviate the pressure? Well, if the pressure is bearing upon our shell, right? The pressure is upon our shell. So it's not necessarily that we're going to be a piece of coal for our whole lives. We're not going to live in this shell. We're not going to be in this womb our whole lives. Eventually, we burst and break out of that womb. No matter what womb you are in, the idea of a womb is just to facilitate your growth. When you reach maximum growth and you can't exist in that womb, you burst out of that womb. And this happens time after time after time after time. That doesn't stop. It never stops. The earth is a womb, your mom's belly is a womb, and probably the universe is a womb. We haven't gotten that far. But far as we know, the process of life is particular soul-like energy emerging from wombs. This is natural. And the problem of, there is no problem, but emerging from that womb, feeling that pressure. So the baby's 9 months now. We're not going to be in there for 10 months. We're not going to be in there for 11 months. We're not going to be in there for 12 months. So ultimately, one would look at particular pressures as a negative thing. Like, oh my God, I'm getting evicted. Oh my God, I'm getting divorced. Oh my God, I have to move out this city. You know, it's not a oh my God situation. Like, why would you want to be in the womb for 12 months? You know, why would you want to overstay your welcome? So the pressure that we're feeling moving into this waning moon, moving into this new moon in Leo, right? Are we able to emerge from our cocoons transformed? And we don't necessarily know how to use these new parts, and that's fine. That's fine. But we have emerged from something. We have bursted out of our cocoon. We have emerged from this womb, and we must now cultivate this idea. We must now cultivate. So a chickie getting bursted out of an egg just don't know how to do all the chicken shit, right? Because it's just now fresh emerging from this egg. So the idea of wanting things, having things, establishing things, like those things don't read with transformation. Thus, that within itself, Mercury's trine Chiron, I don't know if I said sextile, but Mercury trine Chiron is the block, is your ideas that you already know what you came on this earth to be, and you know, you ain't doing shit about it, but you just know that you're supposed to have this husband. You just know you're supposed to have this wife. You just know you're supposed to have this money, this house, this car, etc., etc., etc. When we talk about transformation, when we talk about alchemy, it's about letting all of that shit go. The wealth, right? The wealth and the sadness. It represents a light and dark to the past, that it's a legit block. You cannot see who you are if you look into the past and see this trauma, or you look into the past and see, oh, my first baby daddy was the best baby daddy. My first baby mama was the best baby mama. My first job was my best job. When I was in college, things was the shit. Ever since I got out of college, things ain't been right. You know, I love growing up in such and such and doing such and such. All of these are blocks. Or I hated growing up in such and such. Oh, that job was so horrible. Oh, that time that I lost this particular person. All of these things that we look into the past and we pull, this was good, this was bad, block, right? Block, 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 block. You have to look into your past and see for miles, for years, for lifetimes, for eons, You should be able to look in your past and absolve, like, the trauma and pain of your past has to be resolved, right? Or else we don't get to anything. We don't talk about shit. We can't be partners. We can't grow. We can't be in a relationship. We can't do shit. Cause soon as that past shit is triggered within you, you gonna shut down, you gonna act different, or you gonna make me the problem. Cause you weren't able to look into your past and see clearly. This is by design. This is why we have to talk about these things so much day after day, because if you're looking in your past and like, damn, my wife cheated on me, block. You know what I'm saying? Hood Mystic, I love this spiritual shit that you be talking about, but this traumatic shit happened in my past and it's so horrible. It's way horrible than anything you've ever been through. And I'd be like, oh, really? Is that the conversation that you want to have? Because I can have that conversation with anybody. I can have the woe is me talk. If y'all ever want to have a woe is me talk, it's so interesting when I hear people complain. It's like, oh, wow, you're going through that? Damn, I would hate for you to go hear the shit that I had to go through, you know, not to have a competition with you, but let me just be some support and let me not judge, because the reality of your negative trauma is, it's not that bad. Comparable to little girl, like, come on, we can just go on and 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 on about trauma, comparing trauma. Oh, he ain't have it as bad as me, and this, that, and the third. But anybody that's reached some type of level has overcome their trauma. They've overcome this negative, quote unquote, boogeyman of the past. And the boogeyman is the love and the good feelings and the high vibrations of the 90s, the block parties. Old dude come through with the van with the beats bumping and we all in the projects eating ices, having a good old time. Block. Because when you want to look in your past, you want to see your soul, you want to see your greatness, you want to see your higher self, you want to see your most high, right? Hebrews like to call that, you know, as some external God outside of yourself, but this is not what we're talking about. So yesterday, I'm driving a car with Seven, and like sometimes, because we got one of those things where like we listen to the phone on the radio, we just got to tune the radio to a certain channel. And we got one of those adapters that once we hook up the adapter, boom, 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 we can listen to the music on the phone. But I left the phone at home, so the radio was just on. And it was just this Christian radio station. And sometimes when the phone's at home or whatever, and I'm just driving, and I'll listen to the Christian radio station because something about it is really soothing to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't really listen to like the radio station and the hip hop shit because that really disturbs my soul. Like if I'm just listening to the radio, I feel my soul like, ugh, this is nasty. You can't listen to this. And when I turn on the Christian radio, it's like, I'm like, okay. Christian radio station it is. But besides that point, we're driving and the preacher on the radio, he's talking about Christ, and he's saying that Christ is not a man. Christ is just a symbol for truth. And I was like, what? Oh shit. My brain just blew the fuck up because now it makes sense. No wonder you could have everybody have a whole different version of what Christ looks like, because he's just a symbol for truth. Consciousness means awareness. So thus Christ consciousness is just the truth awareness, being aware of the truth. And one would have to figure out, what is your purpose, right? To figure out the truth of your existence, to figure out the truth of your actions for the day. If you don't know your purpose, then what the fuck are you doing today? I'm going to work and paying these bills, Hood Mystic. Okay, is that the truth? You can look online, you can look on YouTube, and you can hear millions of people talk about how they've changed their life and got out of this 9 to 5 system, how to survive, how to live, not working for the man, you know, lifestyle shit. And then we want to talk about truth. And this is what I'm talking about. Consciousness. Consciousness means awareness. So if we're aware of the system, we're aware of the politics, we're aware of the evasion, but we're not aware of ourselves and our truth, right? The truth of our existence, the truth of our soul, the truth of our Atman, the truth of our higher self, then we're not really in tune with anything. But then it's like, well, Hood Mystic, in the past, I experienced all of these negative things. Well, were you in tune and in line with your truth? Were you in tune and in line with your soul? Absolutely not. I was out thotting and clubbing and shit. Well, then rewind, start over, try this. Try to live from the soul first. Try to understand your higher self perspective first. Try to understand that if I'm not living in truth, bad shit is going to fucking happen almost all the time because I'm not in truth. I'm living a lie. And that lie could be what this person is saying. It could be what your mama is saying. It could be what your daddy, husband, wife saying to you. These are lies. Because the truth is very much personal and intimate. Nobody can tell you about you. Say that a lot, but that one ear out the other. Nobody can tell you about you. You need to sit with yourself so long, so strongly that you get a sense of self, a sense of power, a sense of protection, or else what the, you relying on me to give you that? Oh, you relying, no, you not the best spiritual person on YouTube. I need to find the best person on YouTube that's going to provide me with the answers I seek, with the protection I need. Bruh, nobody on YouTube. Nobody in the world, nobody at the doctor's office, nobody at your retreat that you're going to, the ancestors, nobody can tell you about you but you. But we don't even realize that we have this sense of being within ourselves. We don't think that we could become something other than what we are, or what we have been told about ourselves is the only thing that we know of ourselves. But I'm telling you, through meditation, through realization, through dedication, you will figure out who you are. And once you figure out who you are, nobody can take that away from you. No white man, no black man, no purple man, no yellow man. Very simple, but it's very difficult because you have to compete with everybody else's opinion of your ass when none of that shit fucking matters. Now imagine that, right? Imagine how crazy that is. You sitting there thinking about particular opinions of you, but yet and still that opinion doesn't matter. Give me 1 second, family. Make sure we back. Last time I did that, I was talking for 10 minutes to the air. I was talking to the ancestors for real that time. So the art of becoming, the sun, Venus, conjunct, moving into Leo, ready to be our individual best primal selves. And when you speak of individuality that represents Leo, that individuality is the individuality of the soul, the individuality of the Atman, not the individuality of your ass. You're not the king of the jungle. Your soul is the king of the jungle. You're not the king of the jungle, ego. My soul is the king of the jungle. And this is what I have to bring out. This is the ancestral lion, the Sphinx, or the who. It's a liminal deity. It takes you from one space to another space. It's one state of existence to a whole nother state of existence. And that whole other state of existence ain't shit that you can fathom on. It ain't shit that you can contemplate on. It ain't shit that you could think about. Oh, when I do this, it's gonna be like this. Block. Oh, when this happens, I'm gonna feel like this. Block. Block, 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 block. That's why you don't get it. Becoming, change from one state of existence to another. You might not like it because you're so young and so weak and not equipped with the world around you. But that's okay because you're growing. You're becoming who you truly are. And sometimes becoming who you truly are is not a beautiful process. Sometimes it fucking sucks. If you don't know, until you know, it will suck. Your relationship's gonna be shit, your job's gonna be shit, and you gonna be on the internet acting like shit is all good every single day. But the truth, when you cut off the goddamn phone, when you cut off the goddamn internet and you sit with yourself, you have no fucking idea what the hell is going on. Monkey see, monkey do. Blind leading the blind. You need to get in tune with yourself so deeply, so strongly. You need to know yourself so much that what all these people say, all these people feel about you, it does not fucking matter, because you are becoming something by understanding your soul, and you don't know what this shit is gonna look like. Sorry, babe. Tell my wife. I tell her, man, you say you love me, you want to be with me forever, but through this soul process, it might be a whole different dude that resonate with you. You was resonating with me at a particular time. And now that you've leveled up, that love for me always gonna be there. But this new energy, this new person that you becoming is gonna attract different men. Why the hell would I be in your business or in your life path to disrupt that? No, you're mine. You're my wife. Fuck all that. It's a level of understanding. It's a level of truth that we don't impede on other people's path. We got to figure out our shit. Oh, but I'm married. Who gives a damn? It's a grown adult with the soul that in their ignorance, guess what? They make mistakes. In your ignorance, guess what? You make mistakes. But you were ignorant. You were in the dark. Of course you're going to trip over shit. You can't see anything. But the truth, the light, or Christ, not the dude with the long hair and the beard, just the symbol for the truth, the light outside of darkness. He was born at night, meaning that in the nighttime, in the darkness, a light will shine for you to be able to see what's around you. That's awareness, truth awareness. I can see now. Why would I be trying to get to a place in the past where it was dark and I couldn't see shit? Why? Why would I even want to be there? Obviously, I want to take it to this present moment and I want to see what's going on around me. And the space of awareness is the space of creating a foundation, the space of creating principles, the space of creating new morals, new friendships, new relationships that are in alignment with your soul. Now, I'm saying this, but 10 times out of 10, 99.99999% after this video, you're gonna go back to your attachments, because your attachments make you feel comfortable. Your comfort zone is the prison that you in, that you love, but you not tapping into no magic, because outside of that comfort is where the magic exists. In my book, I have this system where you're creating a language using the astrology. So just using my book, I got it in yesterday. Using my book, I came up with the sentence for Sun, Venus, entering Leo, and I just want to share it with y'all. This is where I got everything from, like, you know, just the title. I was like, well, let me just use the book to come up with a title for this video. And so Venus, Sun, and Leo, what I came up with is I love who I am and who I am becoming, right? Just saying Sun, Venus, and Leo don't really mean shit. It just Sun, Venus enters into Leo. Oh wow, you know how conscious niggas get. You just say some shit that they ain't never heard before. Oh wow, let me like and share this. Hey y'all, Sun and Venus is going into Leo. Oh yeah, for real? What does it mean? At least this is what I came up with. I love who I am and who I am becoming. It's a vibe, you know, it's a vibe. And another thing about the Sun Venus moving into Leo, we're creating, or what's being handed down, because like Leo is the ancient lion, the who, or the Sphinx. It's a liminal deity. It takes you from one existence to another existence. Literally, we're not going to hop on the back of a lion and go from America back to Egypt. So it must be a metaphor for something. So the metaphor is just a simple understanding of ancestral gifts that are going to be given to us. And it doesn't have to be cash. It could be cash, but it is something that you can use for an exchange, whether it's knowledge, information, skills, ability. It's going to be something very organic and very limited. It's like corn or something like that, a resource, donkey, something like that, you know, something that you could use for whatever you want. And this is from a connection to the ancestors, because we got to pay the rent by the 1st. It's 2 more days to the 1st. What am I gonna do? Better hop up on the back of who and get from one place to another. And those ancestral gifts that come, they'll give you enough money, enough resources to pay your rent plus some. But we have to be connected. We have to understand the DNA, the blood that courses through our hearts is giving us insight and wisdom at every single moment. But we so caught up on the past and the future that we missing out on the moment. I hope that makes sense. Card of the weekend. So the card of the weekend, the 6 of Swords. In the Thoth Tarot deck, this card is called Science. Yeah, definitely, Jazz. Definitely. Even when you said that, like, I felt the energy. Like, you definitely do. Get up on those ancestral gifts, man. Don't, like, man, that's an important thing. That's an important component to consciousness and awareness. It's the ancestral vibrations of people that have preceded us. Now, that number is so large. That number is so great of different souls and abilities and information and knowledge that you always do yourself a disservice without meditating and consulting them, you know, in some form or fashion. You could be so busy that you don't got enough time to meditate, but in the space of your busyness, you meditate, right? Just concentrate on something outside of, it ain't like you completely engaged. You know, it was times where I was busy or at work. You can still put your mind on the ancestors. You can still put your mind on your heart. It's called consciousness. It's called awareness. Being aware of the truth of you. What is your truth? These are deep questions, man, that you should spend some time with to answer. And don't just half-heartedly say, my truth is being in this marriage, taking care of these kids. Oh, really? Well, why is your wife cheating? You know, why is your husband cheating? If that was your truth, you know, why is they hurting you? Why do you dread coming home after work? That you don't even go straight home. You got to go to the bar and take a couple of shots. You got to roll up a couple blunts before you get into the house just to take a motherfucker. You know, just to take you. I got to do all of these things, but that's your truth? Very interesting. The 6 of Swords, as you can see, it implies a journey, But this journey, if you look at the mom and dad, or the mom and son rather, they're like got this. They've been through some shit. Either they trying to be hidden or whatever, but they've been through something. And the guy on the back of the boat, that's Jesus. He's steering the boat. But that's your truth, your higher self, yo Atman, your innermost, guiding you, showing you. Oh, I've been through so much. Did you consult with me? No, I was trying to do it all on my own. Next time you try to do a lot, make sure you consult with your inner self, your Atman, because I'm always here for you. I love you. I want the best for you, but you have to engage with me. You engaging with your husband. You engaging with your job. You engaging with a hood mystic ass nigga on YouTube. Like, that ain't who you need to be connecting with. You need to connect with me, your soul, right? So I'm gonna do these videos regardless. And I'm not gonna say, hey, the secret to this shit is following me and listening to me and doing what I say do. Hell no. Never. The secret to this shit is listening to yourself so hard, so strong, and following that advice until you get to a point where you can trust that advice to understand that it never gives you the bad advice. You just always be ignoring that shit, thus getting you into these particular situations. So as the soul guides you away, so in the ancient Egyptian tarot deck is moving away from the swords. The swords on the Rider-Waite deck, they're kind of protecting the boat. They're a form of protection, and he's steering the ship, meaning you ain't got shit to worry about. You can see kind of like the swords as a form of protection and being directed. It's just so much protection, so much guidance, and it's not a level of intellectual, like the lady is not turning around to the guider like, hey nigga, you going the wrong way. This ain't the way to go. No, I'm just happy I got my baby, and I'm happy that you able to guide me and protect me right now, because right now I am a mess. Right now, what I've been through in these past 6 months, too crazy. And I'm just so happy to not be going through that shit. And I'm so happy to be moving on to a new space. I'm so happy to be moving away from these swords. In the Thoth Tarot deck, you have 6 swords pointing to a cross. That was crazy too. After coming up with the Christ consciousness or whatever, and then looking at this card, the 6 of Swords in the Thoth Tarot deck, and you can see all of the swords pointing to the center of the cross, and it's like this Rosicrucian heart, which represents like a heart. So all of your information, all of your words, because swords are an anagram for words, it's a lot of chaos in the background, but everything is pointed to speaking from the heart. The truth, being aware of your truth, Christ consciousness. And I thought that was pretty, that was the, like the, not the nail in the coffin. I don't have an analogy for that. Definitely not the nail in the coffin though. But it's a level of integration. You so conscious, you so deep. Every time you see a cross, I don't into that shit. The cross, I ain't no Christian, white man and da-da-da-da-da. Well, in esoterics, it's just symbols. Like, if you don't understand the symbol, then you just don't understand the symbol. If you could, it damn near could be a cross, but look at it again, right? It don't have to always be a cross. What else could it possibly be? A T, right? T for truth, right? Truth. Why gotta be a cross? Why can't it be a T? Now your name Tierra, and you ain't stopped spelling your name with a T because it looked like a goddamn cross, now did you? You would still use that symbol so people can understand what the hell your name is. So let's use our brains. Let's use our hearts, rather. Let's use our hearts. and look at this for what it is. Maybe it's not a cross at all. Maybe it's a T. Maybe it's a truth. And all of our words being focused on our center point of our truth and speaking from that space. Now, this is not easy to do. That's why in the Rider or the Thoth Tarot deck, this card is called Science. And science is just an idea or something that you are willing to learn, something that you are willing to figure out. But you niggas know everything. So let me just preface with that, right? Everybody know everything about everything. This, that, and the third. I seen this video where Bobby Hemmett was breaking it down. I read this book where such and such was breaking it down. I'm good. I know what I need to know. I got a YouTube page. I got a Facebook page. I got 500 likes on my shit. So you need to fall back. I got followers, bruh. People look up to me. Well, y'all all some crash dummies to me. Y'all all crash dummies. Y'all all headed nowhere. If that person ain't telling you to go from within, to emerge from within, and telling you how difficult that shit's gonna be, how much you gonna have to sit down and learn, how much you gonna have to separate from the shenanigans and the fuckery, or else you can just keep following these conscious dudes and rhetorics and, you know, just do whatever. It's all an illusion anyway, which is true, but you still exist in this world. And just doing whatever is going to create a whole level of karma for you that you're not really ready for. You don't need nobody on YouTube to tell you to do whatever, because you've been doing whatever your whole goddamn life. Now, let's be real about this shit. You don't need nobody to validate your fucking insanity, because you've been insane your whole life. What you need is somebody that's going to challenge you, make you uncomfortable, and speak to shit that's just going to make you feel, it's just not going to make you feel happy. It ain't all about being happy. It's all about fighting through those insecurities, uncomfortabilities, to create and become who you are meant to be. And who you are meant to be ain't something that's real easy to know. It's something that you got to be willing to learn. And we can't be looking at our negative situations as the end all be all to our whole spiritual journey. Good mystic, I've been through this, man. It's been hard, man. I've been through the ringer. I'm interested in this spirituality that you be talking about, brother. You must have had a perfect life. Niggas have no idea. Yesterday I got this book and I just started crying because not because not happy tears either. I was just thinking about all of the shit that I've been through in my life. And in this moment, very catharsis, very full moon like, and just had a good spiritual feeling and a good vibration that I can't even explain. I was just comfortable, like very comfortable within my body. Not comfortable like comfortable, but just I felt good, you know. But I was thinking about all the shit that I've been through, and I was kind of sad and I was crying. So it was very weird, very cathartic, and yeah. Just an interesting journey that I find myself on, and now it's just about sharing and giving that energy back and letting people know that, hey, you've been through shit in your past, and that's perfectly fine. I've been through shit too, but that's something that we can overcome. That's something that we could really realize, and it's all about you bringing your soul to it, bringing your spirituality to it, and then from there, knowing who you are first. Like, that's the first thing. We got to know who we are to begin to combat and fight these problems. The thing about society certain injustices is based upon people not knowing who they are and other people knowing exactly who you are and intentionally suppressing it. I'm not that type of person though. So, it's a fight, it's a spiritual war, and we definitely can win it, but we need to really align and extrapolate our warrior selves, our healer selves, our magical selves, and bring those selves to the surface. Bring those selves to the battleground. Uh, but yeah, a lot of things that I talked about today. I don't want to over talk. I just want the messages that I said in this little video to help you throughout the weekend, help you get to some space where you could begin to reflect on yourself, begin to deal with the waning moon, begin to let things go, begin to purge, begin to release, be as open and as free and ready for another new moon in Leo. So throughout these daily energy readings, throughout these new moons videos, we are going to keep the theme going. We are going to keep this thing flowing, and we are going to understand the art of becoming. So be prepared for these videos as we just figure out who the hell we are. So thank you guys for joining me this week. Had a powerful week. Powerful week. www.hoodmystic.com, altercreations.net, cashshirts.com as well. To donate to my channel, patreon.com/the Hood Mystic, paypal.me/the Hood Mystic, Cash App Hood Mystic 38. But you niggas can read, so I don't even know why I did all of that. I don't know. Sometimes y'all just be driving and listening too. You know what I'm saying? I got to think about that as well. So you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Fun day. We'll discuss the moon and the sun. So see you guys then. Peace.